She was taken from her home. Her name was changed. Her identity was hidden. And she had no idea that God was positioning her for a moment that would save a nation. This is the story of Esther. Esther was not born into royalty. She was an orphan, raised by her cousin Mordecai in a foreign land. A young woman with no status, no influence, no control over her future. She had no crown, no title, no power, only quiet obedience, and a life that seemed ordinary. But God was already at work behind the scenes. When the king searched for a new queen, young women were taken into the palace. Esther was among them. She didn't campaign. She didn't demand attention. She didn't try to stand out. She simply followed the instructions she was given. She listened. She observed. She waited. And in that waiting, something deeper was happening. She was being prepared. For months, she remained in that place, learning what to do, learning when to speak, learning when to remain silent, growing in ways no one could see. What felt like delay was actually divine preparation. And in time, the king noticed her. Out of all the women brought before him, she found favor, and he chose her. A hidden girl became queen. Esther became queen of Persia, but the crown was not the end of her waiting. It was only the beginning of her assignment. Because soon a decree was issued, a decision made in power that would lead to the destruction of her people. And suddenly, everything changed. The girl who had once been hidden was now standing in a position where silence could cost lives. Mordecai sent her a message. "Who knows whether you have come to the kingdom for such a time as this?" For such a time as this. Esther now had a choice: to remain silent and protect herself, or to speak and risk everything. Because approaching the king uninvited could mean death. For 3 days she fasted, not out of fear, but out of surrender. She prepared herself, not for comfort, but for obedience. And then she said the words that would change history. "If I perish, I perish." She walked into the throne room. No guarantees, no control, only courage. And the king extended his scepter. Favor met courage. God had been preparing her all along. What looked like a random placement was actually divine positioning. Maybe you are in a place you didn't choose. Maybe you feel hidden, overlooked, unknown, like your life is quiet while others are being seen. But what if this season is preparation? What if the silence is shaping you? What if the waiting is positioning you for such a time as this? When God prepares you in secret, He reveals you at the right moment. Trust the hidden season. He sees you